If you'd been paying attention on YouTube, you would have known to stay away from that county because it's full of tweaker sticky fingers. When you look at the numbers, North Carolina is a little bit above average for crime per capita. For a southern state, it's about as expected. Most of the state's just fine, but the bad areas are bad news, pal. What's up? Undercover. Right now I'm in the most dangerous city in the state of North Carolina. I can't disclose my location, but we'll talk about it a little bit later in the video. For now, I'm just gonna kind of creep around here. There's rumors there's been some perps that have been stealing gasoline from this here marathon. Can't blame people. Gas is expensive. 10-4, Tammy. All right, we gotta go. Shoplifting at the Dollar General. If you think that you are tough in Carolina, there's lots of trouble. Everybody here will tell you better hide from all of the dangerous. North Carolina. There were 44,000 violent crimes here last year, which is just about the national average. You can see how crime peaked here in the early 90s and then went down a lot, and now it's ticking back up again, people. There's a crime every minute here in the Tar Heel state. Some places there's crimes every second. No. Most of the state's just fine. In the biggest cities here, like Raleigh and Charlotte, there's some bad pockets, but nothing like you'd see in other big cities across the nation. Nope. Most of the crime in this state's in smaller places you might not have even heard of before. Places like Clinton. Now, most people in North Carolina may not even know where Clinton is. It's a small place of 8,600 people in Sampson County, about an hour east of Fayetteville. There's nothing out here, but as I preach all the time, small towns often have crime rates higher than even the big cities. This little city has the 8th highest violent rate in the whole state. There weren't any murders here last year, so that's good, but assaults are where the problem lies. Every day in Clinton, there's a reported robbery. There's only 8,000 people here. Overall, crime is 3 times higher than the state average. Not good, people, but nothing like the places we're going to see later. Our next most dangerous place to live in North Carolina is a place you've heard of before. This is Durham. Now, back in the 90s, Durham was one of the most dangerous places in the whole country. This place was still reeling from a huge decline in manufacturing and tobacco jobs. Today, a lot of Durham's really cleaned up. But make no mistake, whenever you hear about shootings or stabbings or vandalism in the Raleigh area, odds are it's taken place here in Durham. The areas around Duke's campus are particularly bad. It's so bad around Duke that the university tells students, just stay on campus. There's no need to leave to get food or to party. Just stay here. The mayor of Durham's been addressing crime here for a while, particularly gun-related violent crime. We are in a city of pain, and we're struggling to make sense of the violence we continue to witness, she said. Trying to make sense of it? How about putting more cops on the streets and locking people away? Wouldn't that help, lady? Because in case you didn't know, Durham is pretty woke and was talking about cutting 10% to its police budget. Oh yeah, and the mayor here is asking everybody to donate 5 hours of their time to improve the community. I bet she's not out there donating her time. Look at this. There have already been 182 shootings in Durham this year. 10 people have already been killed, and it's only April. They're on pace for a new high for shootings. 6 people have been killed here in the last 11 days alone, people. If Durham wasn't growing so fast and didn't have such a high population, it would rank much higher on this list. If you live out in Vance County, you know about Henderson. This little city of 15,000 people is way up near the Virginia state line. There were only 10 murders here last year, but per capita, this is statistically the murder capital of this whole state. If you lived here for a year, you'd have a 1 in 1,500 chance of dying by murder. That's not good. And you'd have a 1 in 45 chance of being attacked or raped. That's the second highest violent crime rate in the state as well. Not good, not fun. And every year, 1 in 18 people is robbed here. That's terrible. Look at the crime index for Henderson. It's safer than only 1% of all U.S. cities. That means it's one of the most dangerous cities in the country per capita. Look at that graph, people. And drugs are a huge problem here as well. Just the other day, Henderson cops did a bust and found a bunch of drugs and weapons. Aw, look at the police dog. He looks tired. Good job, though, boy. Okay, so here we are in the Dollar General. Rumor is there's been a shoplifter in this part of the store. We're going to keep looking for him. But Until then, let's go to the most dangerous next city. Wadesboro. It's also kind of an unknown place. It's in Anson County, way down along the South Carolina border. Most of the worst crime in this state happens in smallish cities and towns out in the sticks. Here in Wadesboro, it's not really murders you have to worry about. It's crackheads robbing and stealing. This place has a terrible problem with drugs, and as a result, has the state's highest violent crime rate and the second highest number of robberies per capita. There's only one other place in the state with more rapes per capita, too. And look at that map. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. The entire crime map is some shade of red. And red is bad news, mister.
Miss Hooks, you're next. Hurry up!
Do you think Officer Hooks would be of any use in some of these dangerous hoods? I don't. Not too far away is the small city of Laurinburg. It too is a pretty poverty-stricken place with a bunch of welfare recipients who refuse to change their ways. I mean, in many of these smallish places we've talked about so far, it's been a loss of mill and manufacturing jobs that started their downfall, and then folks down here just haven't moved on. If you lived here for a year, you'd have a 1 in 50 chance to being the victim of a violent crime. That's the third highest odds in this whole state. And you can't leave anything unattended here and assume it'll be there when you come back. They're breaking into cars and homes at a rate that's higher than all but one other place in this whole damn state. Every day in Little Laurinburg, somebody gets robbed. Such a small place, you'd have to assume it's hard to get away with robbing and stealing here, but folks don't seem to mind that too much. Every week here, there's some sort of news report of a shooting. At the gas station, in the hoods, at the underground illegal gaming places. Check this out. A recent report on small towns where aggravated assaults are on the rise talks about Laurinburg. This place has the 6th highest increase in violent crime of all small towns in the nation. There's been a 691-point change in aggravated assaults over the last year and a 712-point increase in the violent crimes. What the hell's going on in small town North Carolina? Now we're going to go back up to the central part of the state again for a little bit. Most of the worst areas for drugs and crime in this state are in the middle part of the state right here. Goldsboro is no exception. Goldsboro is a mid-sized-ish city in Wayne County. There's about 36,000 people here. It's a big, sort of trashy place with a bunch of rednecks and good old boys. Every day here, there's some sort of violent crime that takes place. And every day, there's 5 robberies here that they know of. Better keep those ATVs in the garage here or they'll be gone, boy. A lot of the shootings that take place here are the teens who have no parental supervision. Just a few weeks ago, they arrested some 14-year-old punk in connection to a murder he was part of with some 20-year-old chick. Just shot somebody in broad daylight in some neighborhood. And a week before that, some nice grandfather and father of 5 was shot and killed next to his burning car here. What the damn hell? One resident says there's nothing to do for young people here. The youth that doesn't leave usually turns to crime and leads a life of prison sentences. It's a cycle that repeats itself over and over. I need to make something of my life so I can move my family out of here. Yeah, you should.
So you had 2000 Patrick Spalding. 423.
10-4, Tammy. All right, so here we are in the Bojangles restroom in the most dangerous city in North Carolina. We heard a rumor that there was a woman using drugs in this bathroom. Let's see if she's in there. Come on out. Ma'am, are you in there using drugs? You're using drugs. Drugs are bad. I'm here to help you, ma'am. Well, maybe she's not in there. We'll have to check back at the Chick-fil-A down the road. For now, we're going to the most dangerous city in North Carolina, Fayetteville. Everybody in North Carolina knows about how dangerous Fayetteville is. They call it Vietnam because of all the gunshots that go off here on a given night in this city of 200,000 people. There were 48 murders here last year that were reported. Last year saw a 50% increase in murders, and the murder rates doubled in the last 3 years alone. What the hell? Just 2 days ago, there was a shootout at a mobile home park here. That sucks. And a week before that, a dad was found dead in his home, and his son's the suspect. There's shootings at gas stations at all hours, gunfire outside of budget motels, gunfights between biker gangs, or people just found shot dead in their cars. One local columnist says, Fayetteville's problem isn't a police problem. It's a community problem. Fayetteville police can't arrest their way out of this. He says the churches need to get involved to stem the violence from drug deals and gangs. Good luck with that. I wish it was that easy. They could sure use Tackleberry to help with some of the crime here in North Carolina, I'll tell you that. Off we go to the third most dangerous place to live in North Carolina. We're here in Kinston, another poor community in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. Now, I know Kinston well. I spent some time here a year ago, and I talked to people who live in the community. There's some good folks here in Kinston, but they can't seem to talk sense into the idiots who have turned this place upside down. A lot of Kinston's crime can be linked to poverty. The cotton and lumber jobs left this area ages ago, and like many other trouble spots in this state, folks just stayed and struggled. Well, not everybody stayed. You can drive around the worst parts of Kinston and see abandoned homes all over the place. Violent and property crimes per capita are both in the top 5 statewide here in Kinston. There's just a lot of uneducated people roaming the streets, more concerned with their street cred than their success cred. Robbing and attacking old people for a little scratch? These people need to be thrown in prison for life. Come on now. Look at the headlines from just this week. Guns stolen from a sporting goods store, a teenage shooting spree, a murder, a shooting downtown. Just tragic.
Research indicates there's a correlation between poverty and crime. Poor places have much higher crime rates.
I see that, Mappy. I also see on your chart there's a correlation between crime and the black population. Are you trying to bring race into this, Mappy? Because I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's very controversial. So which city in North Carolina is almost the most dangerous? That would be Little Lumberton, also in rural, poor, southern North Carolina. Now, I know Lumberton well as well. I was just there a few months ago. It's in North Carolina's Rot Belt, a region that suffered big time since farming technologies improved over the last few decades. Lumberton's in Robeson County, which led all counties in North Carolina for violent crime last year. You thought crime was bad in Henderson. Lumberton is safer than 0% of all U.S. cities. 0 of them. It's 5 times more dangerous here than it is in the rest of the state, which is already above the national average. And look at the property crimes here. What the? You have a 1 in 9 chance of being robbed here every year? 1 in 9? I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's like somebody in every other house. Last year, things were so bad here that the police department didn't even bother to report crime numbers at all. They usually do that when there isn't any good news to report. They need some help here, fella. Lumberton has to routinely call the sheriff's department to help with the more than 4,700 service calls it gets a month. A month? This county isn't that big. We need more manpower due to the call volume, increased crime, overdose deaths, and the crimes being committed by juveniles that we can't keep in jail. Should we change our laws so we can keep these sick teens locked up for good? I say so. They're not doing any good out on the streets. I'll tell you that. Well, where's the most dangerous place in the state of North Carolina? You might be surprised. It's here. Little Whiteville. Population 5,000. Behind me is Whiteville City Hall. And we're going to drive around undercover and see what we can find. Let's go. Here, you'd have a 1 in 9 chance, again, of being the victim of either a robbery, an attack, or a murder. Just look at the crime heat map for this place. The whole area around here is red and orange. That's not good, people. For each square mile, 99 crimes are reported. What in the hell? Whiteville also gets a big fat 0 for cities that are more dangerous than it. Just like about every other city we've talked about, there just aren't a lot of jobs or opportunities or things to do here. It's just rural hell. There's drugs and gangs all over the place. And the location here doesn't help. A lot of the crimes committed here supposedly are committed by people who don't even live here. At least, that's what the cops say. It's dangerous here?
Yep.
Where would I find all the bad neighborhoods? Is Whiteville a dangerous place to live?
Are you gonna order, sir?
No. I'm looking for the bad part of town.
The bad part.
Yeah, like where all the crime's at?
Oh, baby, I don't know.
Well, where would I go to see all the crime I hear about in Whiteville?
Fox, WCC, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking for criminals, that's all. Dang. Maybe it's not so bad here. I think I see some shady stuff going down right over there. I bet you there's a lot of seedy stuff that goes on in this hotel. I think I'm getting closer. I got somebody on my tail. Somebody is on my tail.
Thanks, Susan Burke. May I take your order?
Hi there, is Whiteville dangerous?
I live here. I'm not going to say it is.
It doesn't look dangerous to me.
No, I mean, there's certain parts of town, looks like any other town, there's certain parts that are, you shouldn't go.
Where would I go? Where's the dangerous part of town?
I'm not going to tell you that now because I don't want you to get hurt.
Oh, I won't get hurt. Come on now.
I'm not going to tell you the dangerous spots.
All right, I'll find them. Thank you, ma'am. Hi there, is Whiteville, North Carolina dangerous?
It's not.
It's not dangerous?
No.
If I was gonna find the dangerous part of town, where would I go?
I don't know.
All right, can I get a chicken sandwich, please? Man, I just don't know where to go to find the dangerous parts of town. I'm looking for the bad part of town.
I can't. What, baby?
I'm trying to find where the dangerous part of town is. I hear this is a dangerous place. Where's all the criminals at?
No, this ain't the dangerous part, baby.
Where's the dangerous part?
Well, I guess when you go out there on the second right.
Okay, what street?
I don't know, baby.
All right, then. I'll find them. Thank you. Hi, I'm looking for the bad part of town.
I'm sorry, you're definitely on the good side of town here.
Well, where's the bad side of town?
The bad side of town, that would be a couple streets back behind us or towards the front of Whiteville, honestly.
Okay, like what street?
I couldn't name a street for you because, like, our town's really not that bad. We do have a couple of bad areas, but they're kind of, like, off in the boonies more or less.
Okay, like which way would I head?
If you go out to the street from our parking lot, you're going to want to make a left towards that area is usually. Of course, I don't really know why you're wanting to go to the back side of town, but okay.
Yep, I'm on my way there. Thank you, ma'am. All right. We got a lead from the good lady at McDonald's that there's a bad side of town this way, and we are going to go that way. Thanks to the good folks at McDonald's. Okay, so right now we're going to what the McDonald's lady said is the bad side of town. And it's starting to get pretty rough, I can tell you that. Yep, I think I found where the perps live. Here comes trouble. We got some people coming up on me. Oh, he is shady. He is shady. Let's trail him. Why isn't he yielding? Why is he not yielding me? I'm an undercover cop. Why is he not yielding me? All right, we'll let him go for now. Maybe we'll investigate later. All right. We are on Martin Luther King Avenue, and that's usually the bad part of town. And I would say that this is probably where all the shit goes down on this street. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some little country road on MLK in Whiteville, North Carolina ain't gonna scare me. Ooh. Ooh. Maybe there's something going on in there. Dang, that is messed up. We should investigate. Undercover police. Undercover police. Undercover police. Wow. Whatever crime happened here happened a long time ago. Dang. I mean, this place is pretty beat up. There's abandoned houses in some parts of town, but dangerous? I don't know about all that. I've seen way more dangerous and felt way more intimidated in many other places in this state. It's just a kind of a normal, somewhat beat up, middle of nowhere North Carolina town. I've been to a lot of bad places, and this place is certainly not one of them. Sometimes data's wrong, sometimes word of mouth is wrong. Technically, this is the most dangerous place in the state, but man, there's a lot of people that would probably want to live here, I'll tell you that. All right, so there we go. The most dangerous cities in the state of North Carolina. For the most part, these are places that are rural and poor and with little opportunity. Hopefully these places can get better, but judging by the mentality of the people who live here, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, if you're looking for the safest places you can live in North Carolina, it's going to be these places. It's these places that you don't have to worry about getting shot or beat up or robbed at the local Econo Lodge. And speaking of the local Econo Lodge, I think it's about time I took a quick nap. My boots are tired after running these streets, and how much crime can happen when an undercover cop gets some quick shut-eye, right? If you think that you are tough in Carolina, there's lots of trouble. Everybody here will tell you better hide from all of the dangerous. Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation. And I can also help you find your new house too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. Hey everyone. So it's pretty clear by now that elected leaders aren't going to help you. If you don't like what you saw in this video, demanding change won't work. You're going to have to do it on your own. If you want to be safe and want your community to be a place where people want to live, you're going to have to clean the place up yourselves. You're going to have to work with your friends and neighbors to lower crime. Politicians clearly don't care as much anymore. It's up to us.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.